So we're out here with the Guru glider from Guru Engineering Tech. I think that's what they call it. I don't know. The word on the street is the Guru glider. So it's a little breezy, not optimal for this airplane. I have done some trimming on it, so just basic tweaks and whatnot. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, a little bit of a breeze. So, and it did transition. Okay, not wonderfully, but there we go. Good transition, and there we go. Oh, flop. There we go. There we go. Finally got it right. Oh, flutter. So, the Guru glider by Guru Engineering Tech. Pretty cool airplane. The carbon fuselages are awesome. Plane builds out to a good, competitively lightweight, glides very slowly. Obviously, we're going to try to get some indoor footage with all of these planes. But the bottom line is, it flies well. It does have flutter issues and whatnot. So far, I've not had anything break or tear in the wings. It cannot handle the high-speed launches of some of the composite planes, but otherwise, very good flying little airplane. And I think for the price, it's hard to beat. 4 airplanes for 33 bucks. So that's kind of my thought on that. If you're launching in anything over about a 25-foot ceiling, these are going to start struggling a little bit. But they'll give you, at this weight, the airplane is capable of giving you flight times probably pretty close to 20 seconds. I mean, we're getting 14, 15, something like that out here, which is not bad. And that's kind of where, in a Cat 1 site up to 25 feet, that's about where you want to be. Some of the others are capable of longer flights, but for the price, like I said, it's hard to beat, and if you're going to a whole bunch of invitationals, there's something to be said for that. Now, I will say another strategy for the invitationals is you're practicing for regional and state, and so you may want to just stick with whatever is the best out there. That's, another strategy. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I don't know how it would do as a canard. I didn't see anything in the instructions referencing canards. I did a kind of skimming over, but I didn't see anything about canards in there. So that's something to consider. Not that I'm advocating canards, because I'm not. But there's a way to set this up as a canard. You could put the stab up here, do away with the pylon, just mount the wing directly on there with some dihedral, put the fin either underneath or on top, and you could probably get a pretty good canard going. So, anyway, Guru glider by Guru Engineering Tech. Thumbs up. So we're out here with the Simon 30s, and so I figured I'd show you a few tidbits. I will say I'm going to remove one ding from this airplane. The instructions do say balance it at the CG marks, and then they say for your first flights, test glide it and keep adding or removing clay until it stops stalling or diving. So technically, if you follow the instructions, you will get something that flies correctly. I don't know. I'm still a little ticked off about that whole thing, but I can at least say, yeah, all right, they got that part right. The giant clod of clay on the nose, the missing parts. You know, that this airplane has been in production for a couple of years. I'm a little perturbed they didn't fix those bits, but at least we'll put up some flights here. We'll see if we can make this go in a nice manner. I had it out. I will say, after I fixed the little wing warp issue, it flew pretty much perfectly. No adjust. I have not made any other adjustments.
Let me see that fly. Let me get Roman.
Alright, and there it is. Relatively nice transition. Maybe a little over elevated. But here's my thoughts. If you're launching for fairly low ceilings, it's all right. It's not going to be big time stuff, but if you spend your time, if you sand it down to get some weight shaved off, it'll do probably, I don't know, 13, 14 seconds in a typical high school gym. It may be capable of longer, I don't know. The kit quality is awesome. No issues there. I don't think you'll typically have the issue of missing parts. I think that was probably just a fluke. It annoyed me, but it's probably just a fluke. And if you were to ask them, they're going to supply those parts anyway. Issues I have. The delivery time for again, Stevens Aero is not a small outfit, at least compared to us, for example. So 2.5 weeks has me a little bummed. Especially for an airplane that's not, it's not a new kit. It's been in production. This is the same one they had before, and probably have had for some time if I'm not mistaken. So it's not like it's a new thing. Next item. Again, it's a great kit, but if I compare it to, for example, the Guru gliders, these are literally polar opposite airplanes. So this is the bare minimum airplane to be competitive in science. It's the bare minimum to create an airplane that you can fly. This, on the other hand, is engineered out the wazoo. This airplane is more competitive than this one in a typical environment. It's easier to get those times out of it because it's lighter. There are issues like it's got a very tight CG range and so on. So I would recommend this one over this one. That's my personal opinion for you. For outdoor flying or for high ceiling science Olympiad contests, this is a pretty good deal. It really is, and like I said, it builds out well. But for typical flying, this is going to be a better airplane. And then you've got your other options. You've got your Freedom Flight, you've got your Retro RC, you've got us. So that's my take on it. For outdoor flying, fun airplane though. You will lose it in a thermal, and I think it's probably one of the better entry-level outdoor kits. But Again, I'm bugged by a nose weight hanging out on the outside. That could have been engineered out. That just flat out can be engineered out. So anyway, that's my take on it, on the Stevens Aero Simon 30. Okay, so we're out here with the Retro RC glider, the Scholastic. Trimmed this out last night after sanding down the wingtips and the tail a little more. Got it down to just under 3.8 grams, which is not a bad weight for a 3-inch cord glider. Trimmed out very easily. Biggest issue I saw was it landed on the roof, knocking it down from the roof only maybe 10 feet up. It was not a hard hit. Landed on my sidewalk and tail snapped right there. So the fragile issues, yeah, it's fragile. Take that for what it's worth. I got a couple 20-second flights out of it, so good solid performer. I didn't see any signs of wing flutter. I was kind of surprised. Obviously, I haven't pushed it real hard, but I pushed it hard enough. So what we're gonna do, we'll put it up there and let y'all see how it flies. And I stalled that one well. You can see it floats beautifully. No nose weight was required because removable wing fixture. And too much bank that time. You can see it floats pretty good. It's kind of a fast glide, but there we go. Perfect. Except for it dove out, but that's due to the conditions. There's a patch of lift right there. Gliders tend to nose down in that. Oh. Perfect. Supremely awful air right there, but it does from a distance. Yeah, then you see that no, it is not. Oh, TSA glider coming in below it. Oh yeah. I mean, it wasn't super high, but yeah, I didn't get it as high as I'd like, but final thoughts on this airplane. I love it. It's beautiful. Flies very nicely. Aerodynamically, as far as how it launches and whatnot, I like it much more than the Guru glider. I feel like it's just easier to adjust. Yeah, it's not a flapper, but I get about the same sink rate, if not better. It's a little more flutter resistant, yada yada. Functionally, however, the balsa fuse kind of kills it. This airplane is Chuck Marcus's design. It's designed in the context, and bear in mind that in its 30 centimeter form, this airplane's been in production, I think, since 2014, something like that. And it's designed around the philosophy of Chuck Marcus's coaching of these Science Olympiad kids. Problem: most of the people buying these don't have access to that coaching, and that means until you've experienced walking into a room with kids who have no access to coaches, you don't really understand, if you're a kit manufacturer, the abuse these airplanes take, the extent to which kids just don't know how to follow instructions, etc. And so they're going to be gluing this fuselage back together over and over, and most of them, I'm sorry to say, most of them are never going to get it trimmed. Which is a pity, because it's a beautiful airplane, it's a good design, I like it. But in terms of, for Science Olympiad kids, a lot of them are going to struggle. Put a carbon fuselage on it, and I basically go to the point of saying I have no objections to the plane. It would be nearly perfect in my eyes at that point. Yes, it's balsa instead of foam, so there are some performance losses there, but this with a carbon fuselage would be amazing. It really would. It would be in a typical Cat 1, gymnasium size contest. I think it would be able to keep up with the best out there. Higher ceilings, it'll start to break down because the Protege and the Freedom Flight plane are actually able to launch fairly high. This airplane is going to probably top out about 30 feet. That's based on what I'm seeing. But for a typical gymnasium environment, would be an amazing airplane. As it is, it's a very nice airplane, and I recommend you give it a try. But bear in mind, you're gonna. My best advice is trim it outside, so you can let it bang into the grass and not get damaged as badly. Sorry for the weeds and crap that are around here. But is what it is. I love the plane. Price per plane is a little on the higher side, approaching what we have with the Protege. The Super Protege at what is it, $20 a piece. So take that for what it's worth. But it is a good airplane. I like it. It transitions magnificently, builds light, floats around. It's a good airplane. It's just that the fuselage is fragile. So that does it for the Scholastic by Retro RC, and on to the next plane. We're out here with Dave Ziegler's Freedom Flight Elastic Launch Glider, and we'll give it a couple glides here. Flies like it weighs nothing. Let's try again. Yeah, that's fun. Load her on here. Probably gonna try to roll over on me. Or not. That could be interesting. Point it up a little more. I shot the wing straight off. We'll try again here. That is not working. I guess if you double up the rubber bands, this will stay on, but getting them on there up under those flaps is seriously a pain in the neck. So I have taped it, which was also a pain in the neck. I guarantee the average student is going to say, forget it and glue the wing on. That's just the way it is. So I have taped the wing on, almost tore the flaps off getting it on the back there, but it's on. So let's see what it does. If the wind will cooperate, which it will not. And nice transition, and over there it dove in. So I'm going to go on the left side here, even the flap up a little bit. Just like that. That may be a little overkill, but we want that thing to pull out of that dive. And there we go. And there it is, floating around like it's supposed to. Other than not wanting to really turn his. Alright, there we go. And it's gliding. Still looking pretty good. I don't know how easy it is to see, but we're launching about this angle, and yes, there's some wind affecting this, but on launch the airplane's nosing over like that. And I'm relatively sure that's due to the flaps deflecting up. So what I'm going to do to counteract that is I'm going to bend this part of the flaps on both sides back up a little bit, and hopefully we can get rid of that bunt so it'll launch a little straighter and then just slide into the glide. Real low ceilings, that's fine to have it do that because it's pretty reliable transition, but higher ceilings, now the plane's just going to nose over too early, and so you won't get full height. Oops, hitting the camera. Alright, still bunting, not as badly, and the wind is not being kind to it, which isn't surprising. It's a lightweight airplane. Nice transition, lots of turbulence. It sure does fly good. There we go, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There we go, look at that. Mm-hmm. So, where do we stand with the Freedom Flight Elastic Launch Glider? Nice build. I like how this flies. I mean, like I said, I've had experience with this airplane before, at least flying with Dave, seeing it fly. It's a nice flying airplane. It is competitive. Price per airplane is moderate, a little higher than the Protege. Materials are excellent, includes all the jigs and whatnot. On the other hand, I feel like this airplane needs the jigs more than a plane that's designed to not need them. That's kind of what our design philosophy was with the Protege. But it seems to be a pretty nice flying airplane. I'd say the one thing I don't like is that tendency to bunt is exacerbated by the design of the tips. So if you have this piece of wood come all the way back here, yes, there's a little more alignment difficulty getting the flap in, but it constrains it so that you don't see that bunt. Super Proteges tend to bunt either way, but that's why we clip the clip in there and then you bend the tips up. And there may be some information in the instruction manual for this about that, I don't know. But on the other hand, like I said, it flies nicely. The shimmable wing is nice. On the other hand, getting to it, I can't get to it. If the wing were up on a secondary pylon and then the strip went back where you could get up under those flaps, it would be easier. But that's, the thing. On the other hand, the instructions also describe doing it without that and just planing that wing mount to a little incline, gluing it straight on there, end of story. And I think a lot of people are going to tend towards that instead, and rightfully so. The airplane builds to a good weight. I will say I don't know how you would get this down to 3 grams. Honestly, looking at it, playing with it, I don't know how you get it down to 3 grams. On the other hand, the lightest Super Protege is about 3.3. Several of us have made them that light now. And that is a lower wing loading. Take that for what it's worth. Still, that said, the Freedom Flight Elastic Launch Glider, thumbs way up. It is a sweet airplane. Hi, I'm Josh Finn. This is Hope. We are J&H Aerospace.
If you like this video, hit the like button.
Also, how about subscribe to our channel and check out jhaerospace.com for new free flight products and all of the tooling that you'll need to build them.
Thanks for watching.